Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Journey with Vijay Kumar Srivastav. Today we are going to study the topic crop water requirement and irrigation requirement. So let's proceed. What is crop water requirement? Crop water requirement may be defined as the quantity of water, regardless of its source, required by a crop or diversified pattern of crops in a given period of time for its normal growth under field conditions at a place. Means crop water requirement refers to the quantity of water required by the crops to complete its life cycle. The water requirement of crops is the amount of water that is required to meet the evapotranspiration rate that crops may thrive. The evapotranspiration rate is the amount of water that is lost to the atmosphere through the leaves of the plant as well as from the soil surface. So the crop water requirements is needed for the evapotranspiration and evaporation losses. In another way, crop water requirement is the water required by the plants for its survival, growth, development and to produce economic parts. This requirement is applied either naturally by precipitation or artificially by irrigation. Usually water requirement for crop is expressed in water depth per unit area, and the irrigation water need is equal to crop water needed minus available rainfall. Means whatever the water is available to the crop through rains and remaining requirement to be provided by artificial means. Crop water requirement can be represented symbolically as water requirement is equal to T plus E plus WP plus WL plus WSP, where WR is equal to water requirement, T is equal to transpiration which takes through leaves, then evaporation. These are the water losses through soil surface in cropped area. WP is equal to amount of water used by plants for its metabolic activities, which is estimated as less than 1% of the total water absorption. Then WL, which refers to the other application losses, which includes conveyance loss, percolation losses and runoff losses. And WSP is equal to the water required for a special purpose like puddling operations, plowing operations, land preparation, leaching requirement for the purpose of weeding or dissolving fertilizers and chemicals, etc. Now water requirement in terms of consumptive usage. The combined loss of evaporation and transpiration from a cropped field is termed as evapotranspiration, which is otherwise known as consumptive use of water and denoted as ET, evapotranspiration, and this is a part of water requirement. Consumptive use includes evaporation plus transpiration plus water used for metabolic activities. So in terms of consumptive use, the water requirement is equal to consumptive usage plus water losses in other forms like runoff, percolation losses, etc. and water used for a special purposes. As earlier studied, the water requirement includes the losses due to ET, evapotranspiration or consumptive use, and losses during the application of irrigation water and the quantity of water required for a special purposes or operations such as land preparation, transplanting and leaching losses. Water requirement can be represented as ET or consumptive use plus application losses, or water for a special needs means WR is equal to ET or CU plus WL plus WSP. In relation to demand and supply sources, the water requirement can be also represented as WR is equal to IR plus ER plus S, where WR is equal to water requirement, IR is equal to irrigation requirement, ER is equal to effective rainfall, and S is equal to contribution from groundwater table. Now we will go through the factors affecting crop water requirement. The crop water requirement varies from place to place, crop to crop, and depends on agroecological variations and crop characteristics. There are various parameters which affect the crop requirement, like first one is crop factors, second is soil factors, third is climatic factors, and fourth agronomic management factors. Now we will study in details about each one. First one factor is crop factors. It includes varieties, growth stages of the crop, duration, plant population, and crop growing season, which affects the crop water requirement. As varieties are concerned, there are different type of varieties available. Like if we are growing drought resistance or drought tolerance varieties, ultimately there will be low requirement of water. And also there are some deep rooted crop or shallow rooted crops which also decides the water requirement of the crop. Second is growth stages. It vary from crop to crop because different crops have different nature for the requirement of water at different stages. There are critical stages for every crop where the water requirement is needed more and water should be supplied in sufficient quantity, otherwise there will be significant reduction in yields. In general, the panicle emergence, flowering, milky dough stages are the important stages where crop water requirement is high. Third one is duration. Crop duration also decides the water requirement. If it is short duration varieties, ultimately there will be low requirement of water. If long duration crop, high requirement of water. Fourth is plant population. If we are going for high density of population where the plant population is higher side, then we have to supply higher quantity of water to meet the crop water requirement. If the plant is having low density, ultimately there will be low requirement of water. Fifth is crop growing season. It also impacts and decides the water requirement supply of the crop. If we are growing the crops in Kharif season, rainy weather, there will be rainfalls by which the crop artificial supply of water is less. But if there is less rainfall, then we have to go for manual irrigation. While in case of Rabi dry season, there is long duration crop and we have to provide the irrigation in sufficient quantity. Second factor which is affecting crop water requirement is soil factors, which consist of various parameters like soil structure, soil texture, soil depth, topography, and soil chemical composition. As soil structure is concerned, well aggregated porous structure favors better porosity, which in turn enhance water retention capacity of the soil. Soil structure influence water movement in soil, and there are different types of soil structures like platy, prism or columnar, blocky structure, and spherical structure. So the soil structure will also impact the water holding capacity of the soil and crop water requirement. Second is soil texture. Soil texture refers to the combination of sand, silt, clay in soil. Finer the texture, more is the pore space and surface area and having the greater in retention of water. Soil structure decides water holding capacity. Clay soils are having high moisture capacity and high retention of water, and loamy soils are having medium water holding capacity, and sandy soils are having very low water holding capacity because of high porosity. Third is soil depth. More the depth of soil, more is the water available to the plants. The depth of soil to which the roots of a plant can readily penetrate to in order to reach water and nutrients. Minimum of 3 to 5 feet soil depth is desirable. Deeper soils are better because they can hold more nutrient and water. Fourth one is topography. What is topography? Topography is the nature of surface earth, is leveled or slopy. Topographic factors affect the crop growth indirectly. Mild gradient up to 1% slope is desirable, and soil gradient is the angle of inclination of the soil surface from the soil. Higher gradients are not desirable as it leads to soil and water erosion. Means topography is deciding the surface of the soil. It is labeled or undulated. If it is labeled, there will be good water movement and water holding capacity. If it is slopy, then there will be surface losses, runoff losses, and soil and water erosion as well. Next is soil chemical composition. It also affects the crop water requirement. If the soil is salty or alkali, then for the leaching purpose we have to go for high quantity of water supply. Third factor is climatic factors like temperature, sunshine hours, relative humidity, wind and rainfall also affecting the crop water requirement. First one is temperature. If temperature is high, it is arid zone or semi-arid zone, there is more requirement of irrigation to meet evapotranspiration and evaporation losses. Second is sunshine hours. If sunshine hours are longer, in that cases also there will be high crop water requirement for the longer durations. Third is relative humidity. Relative humidity represents the water present in the atmosphere in the form of invisible water vapor, which is known as humidity. Relative humidity influences the water requirement of crops. If relative humidity is 40 to 60%, it is suitable for most of the crop plants. Next is wind velocity. Wind velocity also affects the crop water requirement. The basic function of the wind is to carry moisture, precipitation and heat. Wind movement for 4 to 6 km per hour is suitable for more crops. If wind velocity is high, it will increase the evaporation losses and ultimately there will be high crop water requirement. Then rainfall. Rainfall is one of the most important factor which influences the vegetation of a place, and if the crop growing season is having good rainfall, there will be ultimately very low crop water requirement and irrigation requirement. Fourth factor is agronomic management factors, which includes irrigation methods, frequency of irrigations and its efficiency, then tillage and other cultural operations. As irrigation methods are concerned, we have to use efficient micro irrigation systems where we can save the water. If we are using drip and sprinklers, we can supply the irrigation water in efficient way by which the high moisture will be present in the soil and losses will be negligible. Second is frequency of irrigation and its efficiency. We have to supply or provide the irrigation as per the crop requirement, and the drip and sprinkler irrigations are most efficient methods which should be used, because of which the irrigation efficiency can be 80 to 90% and minimum losses. Third is tillage and other culture operations like weeding. If we are going for weeding, ultimately there will be evaporation losses, so after weeding we have to go for irrigation water supply. Second is operations like mulching. If we are following plastic mulch or organic mulch, there will be saving of water, moisture conservation in field, and crop water requirement, additional requirement will be less. Then next is intercropping. In intercropping, we have to include the crops like cover crops. We can cover the surface and minimize the evaporation losses, and moisture will be conserved, which will ultimately result in less irrigation requirement. So these are the agronomic management factors which are affecting the crop water requirement. Now irrigation requirement. What is irrigation? Irrigation is defined as the artificial application of water to the soil for the purpose of crop production in supplement to rainfall and groundwater contribution. The field irrigation requirement of crops refer to water requirement of crops exclusive of effective rainfall and contribution from soil profile. The irrigation requirement can be represented as water requirement minus effective rainfall minus soil moisture contribution. Irrigation requirement depend on various factors like irrigation need of individual crop based on area of crop. Means there are some crops which are having high prolific nature of water requirement, and some crops are like drought resistance or drought tolerance crops are having low requirement of irrigation water. Second is losses in the form of water distribution system like percolation losses, runoff losses, leaching losses, etc. And third, all the quantities are usually expressed in terms of water depth per unit of land area like hectare per centimeter or unit of depth centimeter. Now net irrigation requirement. It is the actual quantity of water required in terms of depth to bring the soil to field capacity level to meet the evapotranspiration demand of the crop. Net irrigation requirement is the water applied by irrigation alone in terms of depth to bring the field to field capacity level. To work out the net irrigation requirement, groundwater contribution and other gains in soil moisture are to be excluded. It is the amount of irrigation water required to bring the soil moisture level in the effective root zone to field capacity, which in turn meet the evapotranspiration effective root zone to field capacity, which in turn meet the ET demand of the crops. Net irrigation requirement is the difference between the field capacity and the soil moisture content in the root zone before starting irrigation. The net irrigation water requirement can be defined as the formula sum of n MFCI minus MBI multiplied by AI into DI divided by 100, where D is equal to net irrigation water to be applied in centimeters, MFCI is equal to field capacity in ith layer in percentage, MBI represents moisture content before irrigation in ith layer in percentage, AI is equal to bulk density of soil, Di is equal to depth of soil, and N is equal to number of soil layers. Gross irrigation requirement. The total quantity of water which is used for irrigation is termed as gross irrigation requirement. Gross irrigation requirement includes net irrigation requirement and losses in water application and other losses. The gross irrigation requirement can be determined for a field, for a farm, for an outlet command area, and for an irrigation project, depending on the need by considering the approximate losses at various stages of crops. And the gross irrigation formula can be defined as net irrigation requirement divided by field capacity of system multiplied by 100. So this presentation was all about crop water requirement and irrigation requirement. Hope this will be useful to all of you. Thank you very much. I have given here my YouTube channel details, Journeying with Vijay Kumar Srivastav. Having request, please visit the channel, subscribe it and provide your kind and valuable feedback. Thank you.